Well, it's great, to be honest, that we've remembered the fact that the Army has been here for, well, not only hundreds of years, thousands of years now. I guess if I go back to here at the Roman Circus, clearly that was I would call it an army of occupation, but clearly we're a different army to that today. But no, it's just great to see that we're actually remembering those who've gone before. I've got relatives who served in the army here at the turn of the last century, and so I suspect most of the buildings we're looking at today are buildings they may well have worked in themselves.
A stalwart of Colchester Civic Society is Rosemary Dewars, who has helped us report before on the Plaques of Colchester Garrison for Forces Radio BFBS.
I'm actually thrilled because it's so important to mark these historic sites for future generations and for families who might be returning to see where their fathers, grandfathers once were stationed in Colchester.
And I think, in particular, perhaps the Miani and the Hyderabad barracks in Mersey Road, one of them has still got the distinctive gates left, and I hope they keep those. But now they've got their plaque as well, and that perhaps was one of those that people just wouldn't have noticed otherwise.
Yes, exactly. And apart from the two rather imposing buildings that are still there, you could easily pass it by and not realise what had been there before. Again, it is important to commemorate.
We've got two representatives of Taylor Wimpey, co-developers here.
I'm Mandy, I'm the sales exec.
I'm Ryan, I'm the site manager for Arena Place.
The important thing is, I think, that you as a company recognise the history that you're building upon and converting.
That was true, and when people came into reserve, we did tell them a lot about the history, what we knew about the development, and also protecting what was underneath the ground.
And how long have you watched these particular buildings going up?
I was there from day one, so December 2015, with the demolition contractor, and then saw it all the way through.
It must be fantastic to see something just either rising up from the ground or something old and rather decrepit suddenly looking wonderful and people longing to live in it.
Yeah, definitely. I'm working on the Garrison. Obviously, there's been a lot of archaeology on the site. We've worked close with Colchester archaeologists and Historic England. So from that point of view, it's been a different challenge to what we normally do every day.
With all this, now we're standing next door to your development in the Roman Circus Centre. Do you find you're getting more interested in what was before?
I've always been interested in history anyway, and I think that came across because I was so enthusiastic, hopefully, about what was underneath.
I'm John Burton. I'm actually president of the Civic Society, which is a great honour and privilege, Today we've done a fantastic thing, really, because Colchester has been connected with the military virtually all its history, and there's so many changes happening in our world at the moment that we need to record that history. History in fabric terms fades very quickly if we're not careful, and just having these plaques here and around Colchester allows maybe one or two people in 10, 20, 50 years' time just to say, and then do some research and get back and tell us. And just this importance of looking back on how our peoples developed is so key to moving forward. And so putting plaques up today is just one small part of recording our history of our nation.
For Forces Radio BFBS in Colchester, I'm Liz Mullen.